Hello to everyone. This is Viewpoint on Noyan Tapan TV, and I am Benyamin Poghosyan. The end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024 was marked by very interesting developments in Armenia-Azerbaijan negotiations and in general Armenia-Azerbaijan relations. After military takeover of Nagorno-Karabakh by Azerbaijan in September 2023 and forced displacement of all Armenians from the region, there were hopes, both in Armenia and outside, that after closing the Nagorno-Karabakh chapter by force, Azerbaijan would be ready to very quickly to move towards the signature of peace agreement. According to this logic, peace agreement could be signed by the end of 2023. It itself would pave the way for Armenia-Turkey normalization. This would significantly change the security architecture in the South Caucasus. It would allow Armenia to decrease its dependence on Russia and, in general, decrease Russian influence in South Caucasus. And according to conventional wisdom, after getting everything what it wanted, entire Nagorno-Karabakh with zero Armenians there, Azerbaijan probably should take actions to decrease Russian influence in the region and support the growth of Turkish influence in the region, as Turkey was a strategic ally of Azerbaijan. However, immediately after military takeover of Nagorno-Karabakh, first Azerbaijan cancelled meetings in Granada, then in Brussels, then in Washington, started to criticize all Western platforms, accusing the West of being too pro-Armenian, United States, France, Germany, the European Union in general, and then offered Armenia bilateral negotiations or negotiations in Moscow platform. First, Armenia and also the international community all were surprised, trying to understand what was going on, why Azerbaijan is doing what it was doing. At the end of the day, Azerbaijan got everything. However, Armenia, as a party who is interested in continuation of negotiations and signing a peace agreement, and the government is interested on it to deliver at least something positive, after the loss of Nagorno-Karabakh, government should deliver something positive. Otherwise, many people in Armenia will start and probably are starting to ask the questions. Okay, we lost the Nagorno-Karabakh. We were told that this is a way for prosperous, stable, and peaceful Armenia and prosperous, stable, and peaceful South Caucasus. Where is the peace deal? Where is the prosperity? Where is the peace? Where is the security? So Armenia, though arguing that he still is interested in negotiating in Western platforms and to have the West, the European Union, the United States as some sort of guarantors of the negotiation process and overall peace agreement, Armenia agreed to negotiate on bilateral level. On December 7, 2023, agreement was reached for exchange of prisoners of war, 32 Armenians, returned to Armenia, to Azerbaijanis, returned to Azerbaijan. Armenia agreed to support Azerbaijan's bid to organize COP29 Global Climate Change Conference in Baku. However, early January 2024, as President Aliyev is prepared for take part in February 7, 2024 snap presidential election and most probably take a landslide victory, President Aliyev gave an interview to local media where he clearly stated that first, Armenia should provide extra territorial corridor to Azerbaijan for Azerbaijani citizens who will travel from Azerbaijan to Nakhichevan, telling that Azerbaijan will agree to have customs and passport controls if Azerbaijanis are traveling to Turkey via Armenia, or these are the goods which will travel from Azerbaijan to Turkey, Europe, or vice versa. But for Azerbaijanis who are going to travel from Azerbaijan to Nakhichevan, there should be no control. Neither passport, no border, no customs. Then he said that Azerbaijani troops will never leave the territories of Armenia's proper territory, which is under Azerbaijani control, clearly stating that Azerbaijan does not recognize Armenia's territorial integrity within Almaty Declaration, because at least 200 square kilometers of Armenian territory according to Almaty Declaration, is now under Azerbaijani control. Then he said that Azerbaijan will never agree to use 1975 Soviet military maps for border delimitation and demarcation process, instead telling that early maps should be used either from the period of 1918-1920 or even from the periods of early Soviet time, 1940s, 1950s. He also argued that during early Soviet time, thousands of squares of kilometers of Azerbaijani territory were given to Soviet Armenia, hinting that in the border delimitation and demarcation process, Azerbaijan would like to take additional thousands of square kilometers of Armenian territories. So, the January 10 interview with President Aliyev sent a clear message to everyone that all the logic behind these 2 years of negotiation between Armenia and Azerbaijan 2022-2023, facilitated by the Western platforms, the European Union and the United States, which were based on the logic that Armenia recognized Nagorno-Karabakh as part of Azerbaijan, drops demands even for autonomy, while the West guarantees the security of Armenians, prevent Azerbaijani military attack against Nagorno-Karabakh and forced displacement of Armenians, while Azerbaijan itself is recognizing Armenia's territorial integrity within Soviet Armenia borders, opens the borders, then Turkey opens the borders with Armenia, investments are coming to Armenia, there will be trade between Armenia, Turkey, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Western money, and everyone will be happy. That all this logic was fake. But maybe logic was fake, but the steps taken within this logic were not fake. Steps were taken. Armenia recognized Nagorno-Karabakh as a part of Azerbaijan in October 2022 in Prague, then reconfirmed its recognition of Nagorno-Karabakh as a part of Azerbaijan in May and July 2023 in Brussels, despite the fact that Nagorno-Karabakh was already under the blockade and it was clear that this will end very badly for Nagorno-Karabakh. However, while Armenia did what it should do within this logic, Azerbaijan did nothing within this logic. He simply took Nagorno-Karabakh, and now he clearly states that he's going to take more territories from Armenia. And as a result of loss of Nagorno-Karabakh, now Armenia, especially its southern regions, in particular Syunik and Vyazov regions, are multiple times more vulnerable, and it will be extremely challenging and difficult for Armenia to protect Syunik and Vyazov in case of Azerbaijani military attack. While West is telling, okay, there will be extreme consequences for Azerbaijan if Azerbaijan attacks Armenia, or if Azerbaijan violates Armenia's territorial integrity. Issue number one. Azerbaijan has already violated Armenia's territorial integrity in 2021 and 2022, still occupies Armenia's territory, nothing happens to Azerbaijan. And issue number two, the West also warned Azerbaijan not to use force against Nagorno-Karabakh, again warning by some extreme implications or ramifications. Azerbaijan promised not to use the force, then used the force in September 2023, nothing happened. Of course, now the West is telling, but look, Karabakh and Armenia are different. Yes, we told Azerbaijan not to use force against Nagorno-Karabakh, but we knew that at the end of the day, Nagorno-Karabakh is part of Azerbaijan, and if Armenians of Nagorno-Karabakh were rejecting to live under Azerbaijani control, then what Azerbaijan did in September 2023 was not good, but more or less was acceptable or understandable, while if Azerbaijan attacks Armenia, this will be not acceptable or neither understandable. Okay, can Armenia hope that this time Azerbaijan will be afraid of Western warnings? I'm not sure that Armenia should do things this way. And also, what if Azerbaijan attacks Armenia? Will the West send troops to fight Azerbaijani troops inside Armenia and kick them out? 100% no. Will the West put real sanctions, not some symbolic ones? Probably no. Or at least we are not sure. So, what situation we have now? We have a situation now when Azerbaijan either demands complete capitulation of Armenia to sign comprehensive peace agreement, which will fix everything, or offer Armenia to sign so-called framework peace agreement, which will not fix anything, telling that, okay, if you are not going to agree on border delimitation, demarcation, modalities of restoration of communications, enclaves, and all other important issues, let's kick them out from the peace agreement and simply let's sign 1 or 2 pages document with maybe, 10, 15 or 20 articles, which will solve nothing, but which will allow Azerbaijan to tell the world that, okay, conflict is over, peace is there, so I signed a peace agreement with Armenia, and in this case, of course, Armenia-Azerbaijan relations or Armenia-Azerbaijan conflict will be out of the radar of international community. Should Armenia do that? Definitely. Answer is very challenging to say, but Armenia is not interested for any escalation, because still military balance huge in favor of Azerbaijan. Of course, framework peace agreement will be in favor of Azerbaijan, will give Azerbaijan many things, while give almost nothing to Armenia. Even there is no guarantee that Turkey will open the border with Armenia after framework peace agreement, because President Erdogan may say, look, I still need opening of Zangezur corridor to open border with Armenia. However, the key question is here. Will signature of framework peace agreement reduce the possibility of new military Azerbaijani escalation? If yes, then probably, despite this framework peace agreement will be huge in favor of Azerbaijan, Armenia should do that. But if regardless we having no agreement or we have framework peace agreement, the possibility or probability of Azerbaijani military escalation will be the same, then probably there is no need for Armenia to sign this framework peace agreement. But of course, Armenia also should not leave the negotiations, because this could provide Azerbaijan another justification for military escalation. So the situation is very challenging and complicated for Armenia. And again, the whole logic behind negotiations in Western platforms in 2022 and 2023, that by recognizing Nagorno-Karabakh as part of Azerbaijan, Armenia paves the way for peaceful, prosperous, and stable Armenian South Caucasus region, was fake. This is all for today, and we will meet soon.